Birdbird, and today we are talking about Harmony 22! Yeah! So Harmony 22 is out, and it's amazing, and I love it. And I know the Toon Boom team worked really hard to bring a new version for 22, and it's packed with very cool things. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. Of course, I'm not gonna talk about everything in details because we don't have enough time. Today we're just doing a quick overview. So one of my favorite things, I can just draw. As you clean up, you get to see your textures. This might seem simple and not that great, but if you compare it to 21, it's massive because when I used to draw, I would need to take my pencil, then draw, and the texture would only appear after. I guess it's not that easy to code to be able to bring in a procedural texture live, but somehow they managed, and it's been working really great so far. And I've loved cleaning that animation because I could get to see my texture as I went, and it was so cool. Yeah, by the way, I made this cool new animation. You might see it more in the server and in the streams. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm proud of it, okay? So yeah, the pencil tool is going to show you the texture as you draw. Pretty simple, but pretty great when you work 1,000 hours cleaning some things. The other amazing thing is the reference view. So you might remember the model view, you know, when you would go there, get model view. It's not there anymore, it's been renamed the reference view. And it suits it very well, because now instead of just being for like models, I guess, it's gonna be, I think from now on, a view that's tailored towards many types of different reference. And there's many ways to import reference nowadays. You can go like here to get a picture, so I'm just gonna go get the file that I wanted, which is this one. So I have a little ZBirdBrain drawing here. I can import it, and it's there. You can also take a folder that you have on your computer, and you can take the drawing and drag it in, and whoop, you get your little reference. And one of my favorite things, you can also get your snipping tool or whatever you use on your computer to take screenshots, and then you can take a screenshot, you can copy it, and you can paste it in your reference view. Like, what? This is really cool. And furthermore, if you close the software and you reopen it, I'm gonna save, I'm gonna close, and I'm gonna reopen it just so that you can see the cool new splash screen. There you go, I have my scene, but now my references are not there. All you have to do to get them back, instead of re-importing them, or instead of having like to keep your reference in your timeline, which is kind of annoying me to be honest. So now you can just go here in the burger menu, and you can load your default references, and it's just gonna load the drawings you had before. So no need to keep like a tab or something in your scene to have your references. They're gonna be saved in a folder in your computer. If you wanna delete them, you can just delete them like this. Or delete them from the folder. Anyway, reference view, amazing, I love it. You can also color pick from it for like bitmap drawings and stuff, which is kinda nice. The other thing that is little but kinda cool is that if I go in my layer here for animation and I take this crown, remember in the past when you wanted to take something and copy and paste it? It always pastes it right at the side. This is to prevent you from copy and pasting on place without knowing it. But now, if you're a seasoned user and you know what you're doing, you can copy and paste in place. The shortcut is Ctrl-Shift-V or Command-Shift-V on a Mac, or you can also just right-click and you can paste the object in place. So this is very cool, especially for rigging. You know, when you have like a perfect circle and you want to paste it inside to do your pivot, then now you can just copy and paste in place and then just shrink it. Pretty neat. Speaking of little things, if I'm far away from the drawing and I select some artwork, now if you pressed Shift F, you can zoom on that artwork, which is very cool, especially if you're working fast and you just want to see like that foot and just like focus on it. It's pretty cool. It's a Shift F to zoom in. Okay. A little improvement as well, just for ease of life. If you go to your render view, now you have these cool little thingies that show up, and they're going to show you what color you're on in an RGB value. Pretty neat. If you're doing compositing, you need to see those. I have 3 more little things to show you. They're nodes, so we're going to jump to our beautiful node view. So let's say I have a shadow layer. I'm going to cut it the dirty way because I can't be bothered. So I don't have my shadows. So now you know you have your trusty blending node. The blending node is not new. However, the blend mode can be set to different modes, and they just make more sense now. They curated the list to remove all the old ones that were not perfect, and it just makes more sense now. It's pretty cool, pretty easy to use, and the results are closer to Photoshop. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And anything that used the old blending mode, I've been updated, so like composite, generic, and all that. You also have clamping mode, which are very useful when you do your compositing. We also have a new blur. That's kind of neat. It's called the bokeh blur. And this is a blur that uses like a shape to blur, so now I set mine to stars. So the shape type is star, and there's a lot of things you can customize. And I'm just going to show you what's the difference between a original blur and this one. So that's the original blur, and that's a bokeh blur. It's pretty cool. If you're curious about the bokeh blur, I really recommend you checking the documentation on it. It's already out, and it's pretty clear. So there you go. You have the bokeh blur node duck. And last but not least, we have a new node called Animate Pencil Texture. Now, you know I made a tutorial about how to animate your line using a color override and pegs and whatnot. This is like the free automatic version of it that the team came up with after seeing everyone use the color override to move the line and stuff. It worked, but now for Harmony 22 they tried to have a more automatic way that is less complicated and less taxing on your computer to do the work. All you have to do is take the node, connect it to your animation, and you see my line art is already shifting. So you don't need to, you know, connect the right line art, whatever, like whatever textures you use, it's gonna work. And you have a bunch of things you can set up. So here, for example, in mine, I animated the whole value just so that it fitted my drawing. And then here, since I have everything on 3s, I just put my line moving on 3s. So I'm gonna show you the result. This is the same drawing, I'm just gonna use the node to shift the line. So it's gonna give me multiple line shifting automatically, like it took 5 seconds to set it up. After that you can customize it more, but it's way faster to render, at least from what I've experienced, and way faster to work with than the color override. The color override method is still useful for other things, maybe more precise work or something, but this is pretty cool. And then you can get your peg here and also move it manually just like you would do in the old days of the color override method. And yeah, it's pretty cool. This is just me touching the surface, but it's a pretty great release, and I cannot wait to show you these features in more details. And with that, folks, that's all. Have a good day!